Hello everyone, Brooktician here, and today I'm looking at my entire Lego Disney minifigure collection, which includes the complete series 1 through 3, and I thought I'd throw in a few extra minifigures in there just to shake things up, and I probably won't show these minifigures another time, so I figured I'd show them now. So also, one bit before we jump into the minifigures, we seriously came with this base plate that has the Disney 100 logo printed on it. I don't care for this print. I wish they did more of a unique color to celebrate it, like that silver. I think that would be really neat. With that out of the way, I guess we'll jump straight into the minifigures. First off, here we have Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Oh, and also I'm doing these in order of appearance. So Oswald comes with a little plaque here that's supposed to be one of those take clips. But I think I had a better one with Lego Studios. I kind of wish that they remade that one. But this one's fine. Oswald himself got dual molded legs. He actually does have printing on the back for his tail and a little bit of his blue pants there. Same thing with on the front minus the tail, but mostly black torso. He has a good black and white face, but I kind of wish that he would have matched Mickey a little bit more, just kind of being black and white. But they went more for the look of him from Epic Mickey. Sorry, it took me a second to remember that. So there's Oswald. Next up here, we have Mickey in a Steamboat Willie appearance. His accessory is the helm from the boat, which is in a gray. He has a hat there pinned to the top, and it actually is a separate piece. It uses the kind of same way Minnie's bow is pinned in. So that's a little neat there. Mickey, tall white face, basically just a black and white minifigure, and you would probably think Lego actually did a really good job with its tone, so that you actually would think that this is a black and white image of a Lego build. But I have a tan background back there, so you know it's in color. To join Mickey there, we have Minnie, who has basically the same colorless appearance with black, whites, and grays. Got basically just printed legs, no dual molding there. Actually, there is dual molding. You can see her black stockings kind of ending. Got a hat and a life preserver, kind of to reference her appearance as Steamboat Willie. Really like this minifigure. Next up, we have Mickey in color. Now, this is kind of the Mickey that we know today. Classic red shorts with yellow pants. No printing on the torso, so wide's basically only differing from the flat. And I kind of wish that they had Mickey's mouth open. I think just kind of really weird. And it's kind of very wide eyes without much printing there. Kind of was a little bit creepy. But overall, pretty solid molding, and really like to have this minifigure. And too bad it's a CMF, so Lego probably will never reproduce him in this form ever again, sadly. Next up, we have Minnie and her. My background just fell off. Give me a second. I'm trying to do this all in one take. And I'm reaching over to get the minifigures. I have 65 to go through after all. So yeah, Minnie in a pink dress. They also came out with red at the same time. And have a couple of appearances. I saw her once in yellow, but I just have the pink one, and that is suffice for me. Got a pink bow there. Eyes are actually a lot better since she has eyelashes. Once again, wish the mouth was open. Dual molded arms and a skirt piece, and printing with dual molded legs. So there's Minnie. Next up, we have Donald Duck. Let me just straighten his tie a little bit. This character, his joints have actually become a lot looser, surprisingly. Donald, I think, is a lot better looking than Mickey, especially since he has his mouth open. Love the hat, love the tail feather piece, but it causes the legs to pop off a lot more easily. The only thing I can say is I would like to see Lego try to replicate his web feet, maybe with some flipper pieces, but that's fine. He does have arm printing, and overall, I think a fantastic looking minifigure. Next up, we have his female counterpart, Daisy. Now, Daisy, I think, is a little bit more boring because you don't have much in the way of printing on this minifigure. Dual molded arms, same tail piece, got printed shoes on, same bow as Minnie, and just different printing for the face. So a little bit of a lesser of a minifigure compared to Donald, but it suffice. Now we're going to get back into the cinematic appearances, starting off with the evil queen from Snow White. There she is. She has 2 capes, one for her collar, and her accessory is actually the magic mirror that she is known for. Magic mirror kind of looks off to me, but it's fine. Flipping her around, no printing on the back because the head someone's exposed, and There is back printing there underneath the cape, and you have a dual molded on each side for the cape color, which is really nice. She does look a little bit pale though, but it is printing on a darker piece, and she is kind of a pale minifigure. It'll be interesting to compare her skin tone next to the official Snow White minifigure, which sadly I do not have. Hopefully there's a cheaper set coming with it next year. Next up here, we have Pinocchio with mid-printing legs, and this character was a big pain because his feet kept on being misprinted, and I finally got one without misprinting on it. Going around, got solid red legs, there's printing on all sides, got the arm, fish, bowls, accessories, which is great, and doesn't have a dual molded face because the face is actually 3D, has a few of the characters that actually has a nose. So that's interesting. Next up from the same movie, we have Jimmy Cricket. Now, Jimmy Cricket has the same collar piece as several other of the other Disney minifigures that came out alongside him. Face is a little bit off though. Really do like the hat and the umbrella. The suit printing is okay, but yeah, just kind of an awkward looking Jimmy Cricket. I would have made him a nano figure next to Pinocchio. I think that would have been a lot more fitting, but we got him a minifigure for him. Next up, we have another Mickey Mouse from Fantasia with his Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey. Now, this one has the head molded on. The eyes actually have a slightly different print. He has a bucket and this broom as an accessory. And printing is pretty shiny all the way around, dual molded legs. Overall, pretty solid minifigure. I just kind of wish he matched the other Mickey a little bit more. Once again, I wish that they would give him an open mouse. Next up, we have Chip. Comes with a little acorn bill, really clever that way. Pretty solid minifigure all the way around, not much to actually write home about. It's all the detail that you kind of expect this minifigure to have is here. Next up, we have his counterpart, Dale, who has a bag as an accessory. He also has those mid legs going around, basically the same amount of detail as Dale. So this is Dale, in other words, Chip. I was getting mixed up. My apologies. Next up here, we have Alice. Alice has the same skirt piece as Minnie, has a cookie and a drink me bottle as her accessories. I think Alice is actually a really cute minifigure. Really enjoyed this one. This been around. She has a unique bow hairpiece. I wish Lego would kind of bring this back in other colors. And basically just has her shoes printed on. But overall, really good. And no alternative face. But you can see the bow is kind of designed the same way as Minnie's shaped, which is interesting in the back. Next up, we have the Cheshire Cat. Now, while striping on this minifigure and the teeth is kind of faded, there's a little bit of a line there. Pretty basic figure. I wish he came with accessory, but you got two new molded pieces out of a lot of striping. Has tri-molded legs, which is interesting, but they're only molded two different colors. So, yeah, the Cheshire Cat, really solid minifigure. I just kind of wish he was a little bit more posable, but he gets the same posability as most Lego minifigures who have the short legs. Next up here, we have the Queen of Hearts, who has a kind of a baton as accessory, really solid dress piece, angry, got the same collar piece as several others, has an alternative smirking face, which I don't really care for too much, but overall, a really solid figure. Next up here, we have Peter Pan, there we go. Got gold knives as accessories, spinning around. He has dual molded arms and legs, and I really like the triple molding hairpiece that he has with his pointy ears on it. Really useful. It's a lot of links. No alternative face, of course. And there we go, Peter Pan. Now we have Peter's foil, Captain Hook. Now Captain Hook has a phenomenal hair hat combo piece. Just a shame about the face though. But overall, pretty stylish. I really like it. He doesn't have an alternative face. You can see the back printing a little bit better there. And these ovals kind of remind me of Mickey Mouse a little bit. And of course, Captain Hook has his signature hook, and he has a saber, also in gold. Next up, we have Aurora, who has an owl as an accessory. So if you want to count that as a separate character, owl has a very Disney-esque looking look to him. I think it's pretty cool. Crown is, I've heard people complain that's a little too big for Aurora, but it's fine. It's an existing Lego crown. Hairpiece looks really good though, and I love the dress. I hope that one day we do get Aurora again in a blue dress so you can recreate some scenes from the movie. Next up, we have the villain of the Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent. Now, this is a very solid figure. Really love her. a lot comparatively to the newer one. Got two cape colors, kind of interesting. I think that's printed on. Solid looking face and staff, and very simple printing, but I love Maleficent here. Next up, we have another villain, Cruella de Vil. Now, Cruella actually has a coin purse as an accessory as well as one of the Dalmatians. I think this one is Patch. So, coin purse just went flying off. But let's get that back into her hand so you can see it fully, or at least how much her hand will allow you to see it. So a pretty solid coin piece purse. Love the K piece. This K piece is shared with Prince John. Love the dual molded hair piece. Very solid molding there. Look in the back printing there. That kind of matches her coin purse. And has an alternative face, but I think her smirking like this is a lot more appropriate for the character. So, and the Dalmatian is kind of a filler piece. And I was like, good luck trying to get 101 of those pieces because I don't think Lego's going to come out with that many. Next up here, we have Robin Hood. I wish the hair or the hat piece came off, but he do have this classic feather in it. That is a separate piece. Got a tail and a signature bow and dual molded arms and legs. Weirdly solid minifigure overall. I just kind of wish I could make him into Nick Wilde a little bit more easily. Next up here, we have Prince John. Crown a little bit too for him, as it is in the movie. Pretty stern-looking face. Doesn't seem. He looks a lot more serious than he does in the movie, in my opinion, because of the coin in the bag as accessories. Overall, really solid figure. Next up, we have I did it again. Scrooge McDuck, who has his lucky dime as his accessory, as well as cane. I wish glasses had printing though, but it gets kind of the point across. Top hat's a separate piece. Got the same feather tail as Donald, but it has printing on 3 of the 4 sides, so it doesn't show up in the front, which is really nice. And kind of confusing with his legs though, but it's pretty accurate, and I think it's the best Lego could have done. So next up we have Ariel, who has a fantastic molded, mermaid tail, of course. No alternative face at all, I believe. Yeah. Yep, and there's the back printing so you can see it. And it comes with the clam with a jewel as her accessory. Overall, I think Ariel's really good. I really do like the hair piece as well. Next up, we have Ursula. Ursula has a brand new, for her base piece for the her tentacles and kind of give her girth. There's literally no printing underneath this piece. Solid hair molding, and overall I think it's really good. It has the Triton as her accessory. If I can get her off the base blade. Okay. Next up we have Huey. Has his Wilderness Scout book right there. Inside there's the page for it. Basic red, same tail feather piece as Donald. Has a signature red hat, and basically all of the triplets have very similar look to them. So let's just go through those real quickly. So here's Dewey with a slingshot accessory, the same hat piece, just basically the same as Huey as in blue. And the same goes with Louie. Let me grab him. There you go, and his accessory is a flashlight. Next up, we have Aladdin. Aladdin comes with the lamp as accessory. Got some solid legs on the back. Kind of wish that there was only to get his feet exposed a little bit more. Face is pretty good, as well as his torso hairpiece. I think it's really cool with a fez on it. Really solid figure overall. And next to counterpart Aladdin, we have the Genie. Genie's a really tall figure, especially on top of the lamp. Has a red striping all the way around his Genie leg piece, pointy ears, and of course has a gold ring with this kind of same feather piece as Robin Hood has. I just wish the face was a little bit better, though. It just doesn't kind of come across as Robin Williams Genie that well. Okay. Start putting these characters back into the bag and I store them as I get through them. Next up, we have Jasmine Solid plastic hair piece. Bird as accessory, got arm printing, and let's take off the back. You can see that she doesn't have an alternative face at all, but she doesn't quite need one. She does have a hole on the top that you can put accessories in, which is kind of odd, but overall, pretty solid figure. There's a little bit of printing down there for her princess slippers. Then the last character from Aladdin, Jafar. Jafar has his staff. He probably should have gone first on the list, but order of appearance by movie, I guess. Really solid headpiece. I think the hat piece kind of helps his face overall. But I really like the robe, and he has dual-sided cape side. If you flip up the back, you can see the back printing there. And he does have an alternative face, which is more of a smirk. And once again, I think the hat piece really helps this character sell his long face, which I'm actually surprised that Lego made it work here. Next up, we have Jack Skellington, who has accessories of a present, and there's 3 different unique snowflakes, but I cannot get them to appear well on camera. Really love his bow tie piece as well as the long suit coat back there, and love his stripe printing on him. I don't really care for the movies too much, but I think this minifigure is really good looking. Next up, we have Sally, who has the Deadly Nightshade, I think it's called. Her arm there, going around, a lot of great printing, a lot of good use of the color piece underneath. And I guess I need to show you her back side where she has her alternative face as well as the back printing, so you can get a look at that. Next up, we have Pocahontas. Now, Pocahontas has a compass and not 1, not 2, but 3 leaf pieces, different colors for colors of the wind. Her hair is kind of stuck in a blowing position. I move the leaf piece so you can get a better look at her printing. She does actually have some arm printing on this side. And on the back, alternative face a lot more happy, but I don't feel like that matches that character too much. But overall, pretty solid figure for Pocahontas. Next up, we have Buzz. Now, this Buzz, I think, is really solid. I do kind of prefer the special molded face for him, though, because toys can have exaggerated looks. Have wing pieces kind of going around. I really wish at the front of the helmet had something there, but it kind of gives the illusion of that with just the back. No printing really underneath the torso at all, so you can get a good look at what it fully looks like. Just kind of a pain of a character to work through. There we go. And I do have another Buzz. He came out from a Lego set that has a kind of a downgrade. You can see the coloring on this. The CMF one is a lot better. So just to kind of show you this other one, you can see that it is very much lacking in the way of printing. Next up, we have the counterpart to Buzz in the first series, an LGM. This LGM actually has printing on his feet for the first time in a slightly darker tone to him, comparatively to old ones, and that's what makes this Little Green Man part of the CMF series versus the others. Next up, I do want to take a chance to show Buzz's best friend, Woody. Woody, pretty solid figure. However, I don't think the face is detailed enough. Again, it just kind of looks basically like Woody. Not too much with him. He's not a CMF figure, of course, but like I said, I'm going to be showing all my Disney minifigures, which is the complete Series 3, and Woody's in that list. Next up, we have Hercules with the name after him from CMF Series 2. Really solid shield printing, though. I like how they did it, so you actually have a lot more posability with it. Has this weird kind of ovalish shape cape piece, and kind of a headband goes all the way, and there's the back printing for you. And I probably, right back here, show you his more grumpy face. So, Hercules. Next up, we have the villain of that picture, Hades. It comes with 2 flame pieces and a special molded head to get the flame piece. And the printing is slightly off on mine. I kind of wish that the flame piece was a separate piece, so I can get it looking better, at least on my own. Got printing on the arms and the back. It has the very same base piece with some printing here on the legs to represent it, and it's basically the same as Ursula, just a lot more thinned down. Next up, we have Mulan with Cricky as an accessory as well as a sword. She has the medallion that she has at the end of the movie. Um, Going around dual molded legs, really solid figure overall. More of a grumpy face for the front or her in combat, but she has a more of a rubber texture hairpiece, which I prefer hard plastic. Next up, we have Stitch. Stitch, pretty solid figure overall going around. A little bit molding problems here and here with the head. His head is just as big as his body, but overall pretty solid and pretty basic. And he gets a lot more complicated when it comes to around to the third series, where he actually has his 4 arms and more of an alien suit, a lot more complicated printing. But everybody thinks the first one's a lot better, just because they kind of prefer him, I guess, with the Lilo look. We still haven't gotten a Lego Lilo yet to go with Stitch. Another character I have 2 versions of. We have Mr. Incredible. So here's him from the first CMF series. He has his poster as an accessory. I really like the simplistic print, and I think it's really solid. Good hairpiece. Oops, that went flying around somewhere. Basically, no printing on the back, which is kind of a shame. But he does have dual molded arms and legs. This is my favorite Mr. Incredible comparatively to the next one, but the next one matches my rest of the Par family a lot more. So here we go from Mr. Incredible from the sets. You can see his belt has been moved up to his torso to simplify that printing there. Still got the dual molded arms and legs, and basically just a different face. But he does have an alternative, more cocky looking face with him. And that one matches the kind of the rest of them. So here we have Elastigirl. I really like the hairpiece molded. Basically, it matches the same as the other Mr. Incredible. Not much to tell, but just the hairpiece and basic molding different. Here we go with Violet. None of these are CMF, of course. They're about the sets. Really love the hairpiece. I wish Lego would use that more. Got her shield as accessory. There's her more worried face for her alternative face. But overall, pretty solid. Next up, we have Dash. Dash, despite being the one who's known for running, doesn't have posable legs. He has short legs, the tri-molded as before. He has little peaks and covers his father, and pretty basic, and alternative face, of course. Next up, we have Jack. If you count this as a minifigure, which has an eye on his torso, but that's fine. Pretty basic Lego baby overall. Now going back to the CMF series, we have Syndrome. Really fantastic hairpiece. Face printing is kind of lacking in my opinion. He has a basic black cape. He has the blueprints for his ball robot thing. No printing in the backside and no alternative face. But overall, he does have arm printing and a solid figure. Arm printing on that side to make it a little bit more apparent to you. But we're not done with Incredibles yet. Next up, we have, I take this black plate away, Frozone, who has a special disc plate that he did come with a normal black plate. Solid printing for the face. I really like this figure overall. I think he's cool looking. Just really fantastic to get another superhero from that movie. Now, next up, we have Edna Mode, who has her goggles, basically the same glasses that Robin had in the Leo Batman movie. Has a teacup as her accessory, a bag. Pretty basic molding or printing all the way around. Let's move that down so you can see a little better. There's her without the glasses, and since the glasses are so much of her character, there's the alternative face. So, Edna Mode. And last character I have, not from the CMF series, is the Underminer, one of the few minifigures actually has a printed nose. Overall, pretty solid figure. Back printing, of course. And I will show you his full face printing since Harmon's helmet covers it, but I just find this is a fun character overall. Next up, we have Tiana. Back to Cena's first. She has a frog as her accessory as Tiana's place. Solid dress overall. No backside printing of the dress, which should have been common at this time. And she does have an alternative kind of smiling face. But this one stands out a little bit more. I do like her with her teeth showing more their smile. But that's just me. Next up here, we have the Shadow Man, or Dr. Facilier, has a staff and one of his tarot cards. Has shoes printing, solid torso printing. Hat piece has been printed backwards to give him more of that shady look, but I think a really solid minifigure overall. Next up, kind of a minifigure, Lotso Honey Bear from Toy Story 3. I got this one secondhand, and if you count him as a minifigure, I don't know. Maybe he's a big fig. I just wanted to show him off because I'll probably not show him off hardly ever again, if I ever do. Okay. Next up here we have Anna. Hairpiece I feel is a little too big for the head. I really do like the cape and torso with the leg printing, of course. She has a little wink as her alternative face, back printing there, and a lantern as her accessory. So, Anna. Next up, we have her sister with Elsa. Snowflake's accessory. Once again, the hair I feel is a little too big. Got some really solid arm printing there, and back printing, as well as an alternative face where she's also winking. I don't remember her Anna really winking in the movies, but okay. Next up, we have Baymax that has his charging station, has new arms molded for him with some printing on it, but overall pretty basic minifigure and does its job. You do really like Baymax. It just I feel like the arms are kind of awkward, but those are easily swapped out with plain white ones. Next up, we have Dante from the Disney Pixar movie Coco. Has a guitar as accessory, a pretty standard minifigure overall with mid legs. I like the art stripe printing. He does have an alternative face, very more of a smirk there, but this is actually not all that he has. He actually has a skeletal form too, as well as his hoodie. It comes in the same pack, so you actually get a lot of pieces there. There's the alternative face or the alternate hev and the hoodie. Do have an alternative face where he looks a little more nervous, but I kind of prefer him in this more unique design for a minifigure. But you get both options to play with this one. And one more accessory that he comes with. Well, that was Miguel. Maybe I said Dante. My apologies. This is Dante. I'm doing this all in one take, or at least trying to. So far, so good. Here you go, Dante with the tongue sticking out, dog. Just kind of an odd looking, and this is an existing dog piece. I kind of wish that they would have made their own special mold for him, though, but I digress. Next up, we have De La Cruz. Really solid looking minifigure. Love the printing all the way around him. Just going around. Love the hair hat combo. Really solid looking, and he has more of an angry alternative face. You can see the full back printing there. But overall, a really solid figure, and I love him kind of dress all in white like that. I'll get him. He fell to the floor. I'll get him in a little bit. And lastly, of my minifigures, not CMF, but Bo Peep. It's okay. I kind of wish I would prefer her in her Toy Story 1 appearance or Toy Story 2. Got a cape, back printing, and alternative face. Doesn't really do much, and there's a shepherd's crook there. So tell me your thoughts of all these minifigures in the comment section below. Which one's your favorite? If you have an idea of a new list I can do with these minifigures, please also let me know that in the comment section, and I'll actually try to make that video. And thank you all for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.